Going. So today is Monday, August 10th. It is the Barre City Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. Calling the meeting to order at 5:02. And in the room, we have, just want to do introductions.
Introductions. Hi, I'm Bernadette Guyette from Barre City.
I'm Eddie Roos, also from Barre City. Hello.
Michelle Labarge-Burke, Recreation Coordinator for the City of Barre.
Rodaline Prima, Barre City resident. And we have Michael Deering.
I'm Michael Deering, City Council Liaison to the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee.
Okay, so moving on to the next agenda item, are there any adjustments to today's agenda?
I have none.
Okay, and doesn't look like we have anybody from the public. So
I'd
no
like to discuss potentially changing the meeting from the second Monday of the month to the first Monday of the month.
Next month or for this point going forward?
Preferably going forward after this meeting. So starting in September.
Okay, the only thing that I want to bring up is that Barre Town Parks and Rec Board, they have their meetings on the first Monday of the month, so if it might be a challenge to collaborate with them on future events. So
I would just recommend that because the second Monday of the month is one of our major political parties' meetings as well. So that essentially takes away a lot of the individuals who would be willing to participate in our committee because they meet at 6 o'clock on the second Monday of the month as well.
The Republican Committee?
Yeah,
meeting?
So the Barre City Republicans meet on the second Monday of every month. And it's proving to become very difficult for me to recruit members as well as for me to be at both meetings. The entirety of this and as well as that meeting.
if you guys are open to switching, I would have to check with Chris Irby to make sure that there are Zoom links available for either this link or the committee.
Chris Kirby with the city.
Is from the Barre City.
Sorry.
Tech.
Yeah. There's only so many things available.
There's only 2 accounts, Zoom accounts,
Also, somebody else might have that.
right?
This in September, isn't it Labor Day though?
Right,
They're gonna have a Labor Day.
first Monday.
They wouldn't do that, would they?
No, and we
Have a
wouldn't
meeting.
either.
What's that?
Said no, they wouldn't, and we wouldn't either.
So that's why they're gonna be they won't, we've been the second Monday. And the Republican Committee is the second Monday. So if we switch to the first, then we would be out next week. We might not have to start that till
October.
month.
Hey, it's okay. October is better than just continuing a collision course.
Or are you suggesting we collaborate with Barre Town and just have our meeting with them?
No, sir.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That would go long.
I will reach out to Chris Kirby, the Barre City Tech IT guy, and see if there is a Zoom link available
In October. For October.
Well, moving forward, first Monday of every month,
In October.
and starting in October.
So September, we're still the second Monday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So next agenda item, can I get a motion to approve the July 13th meeting?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Yeah. Any discussion? Oh, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nobody. All right, we have approved the meeting minutes.
Do we have a quorum?
Do you have a quorum?
Okay,
There's three of us.
perfect.
All right, agenda item A, micro grant approval. We received an application from Pancakes for the People. They have been having pancake breakfast at City Hall Park starting July 26th, and they want to do this until October 25th for community members, all abilities. They are, looking for, well, I sent it to the group, they're looking for $250 to have food for about 75 people total, printing flyers, getting the paper plates and utensils. So they were hoping that we would consider approving this to move it on to the city manager, the interim city manager, Braden Vale.
How does pancakes for breakfast fall under our purview?
That's why you gotta use your criteria, or criteria. Yeah,
Well, I was just curious. I hadn't heard about it before. Have they done this?
They've been doing it right along. They've been doing it quite, I think they've done like 4 of them maybe already.
I'm sorry, is it one day a week? One day?
Sundays.
It's on Sundays.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have it, she put the time, she did not. But, 9 to noon, every Sunday at the gazebo area in City Hall Park.
And they have their own, they do everything. So we just did a big pancake breakfast for Rotary, that was good. This is obviously totally different. So they got their own grill and they get their batter and they have maple syrup and utensils and
Turn the electricity on for them.
at the gazebo. Oh, for the,
For the coffee.
oh,
Sorry, Michael, what was that?
you've been to a couple of these, Mike?
They came to council and talked about it because they had to come to council to get a permit because they wanted to do this on a standing basis and just to cover their own base. They got a permit for this event. So they're going to be there every month or every week. I'm sorry. Once a month. I think they said on the last month or the last week of the month, they're looking to serve a hot pancake breakfast. But most of the weeks throughout the month, they're looking to do like a soft meal and essentially to build community. I believe it started with the Rainbow Bridge Community Center with PUA over there is the applicant, if I'm not mistaken.
Pull up. Federation, abbreviation for coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask that. So what organization is actually asking for this?
They're called Pancakes for the People.
Okay, so that's its own establishment, the organization.
Yep.
Thank you.
Technically, yes.
Who's behind it? So it's the Rainbow Coalition, or is it just some people that got together and said, we're gonna do pancakes for the people, or, I'm just curious.
It is a movement with some folks throughout different areas of the nation.
Oh, nation.
The socialist movement.
So this pancakes for the people is in other cities and regions and states and whatnot.
There is a small group throughout the country that are doing these kinds of events.
Okay, that's good information. Thanks, Mike.
Michael, did you say this is a socialist group? With that,
Typically, it's the Socialist Democratic Party that are organizing these.
That's just good information to have as we talk about this. I didn't know anything
Yeah, and I'm
about it.
looking at the ineligible expenses. Political or campaign activities are on this list for the criteria,
Is or isn't,
would be ineligible.
you know,
So,
And it's not technically a political movement. It's just an
Okay.
activity that a group that do events on the side will say.
It's part of that micro grant. It's not, it's money from the city.
no, this is,
That's what I thought you said too.
yeah, this is for the micro
Yeah.
grant application, the $250.
Yeah.
but that comes from the city,
It's money that's set aside from the revitalization
that the
funding that we
Parks and
receive.
Recreation Committee has jurisdiction.
We don't, nope,
No.
it's not my money, it's the city's money that was, the council's money that was set aside for revitalization. And they created these mini grants for people to apply for, to do the
Things.
building the community, bringing people back out of their homes and creating that again. And then
Yeah,
they
this
do
came
have-
out of the flood recovery process where we wanted to put small micro grants out. This was really meant for neighborhoods to gather together for flood resiliency purposes. But events like this are also things that we kind of put the money aside for because it originally came from the American Rescue Plan funds, the ARPA funds, that we created a special project fund for, and this came out of that.
So we should put a point system to this. I sent an email to everybody this morning with this spreadsheet. So it is maximum of 100 points. Promotes. So just kind of list out the criteria, possible points. So promotes neighborhood community connection, 25 points. Inclusive and open to broad participation, 20 points. Benefits public spaces and community well-being, 15 points. Feasible and well organized, 15 points. Budget is reasonable and clear, 15 points, and encourages volunteerism or partnership, which is 10 points. So
The highest points for each is 20. As you said,
no, each one that I listed out has different point
different,
value.
okay.
But that's the maximum that they got get. So in my eyes, minus that the comment that I mentioned about the political activity, I think they meet all those possible points. So what are thoughts?
I'm sorry, where was that point value thing you were talking about? Oh, so then, did you send that?
That's what she said to you.
Review criteria.
Called 4D neighborhood micro grant.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
You seen this? Yeah, you got it.
You said they have a total of 70 points?
70 or above is generally eligible for.
Right.
I make a motion, we approve the funding for their event.
I can second it.
Okay.
I can second it.
Great.
Yeah.
And those in favor say aye,
Right?
opposed none, any discussion? Sorry, discussion goes first, right?
The only discussion I would have is I would never be able to go unless I skip church.
9 to 12.
Yeah.
So I said, geez, that eliminates,
Yeah,
but you know,
Or if it's raining.
That's it. I thought, wow, what if it rains? Where would they put it
I
somewhere?
don't know, they do it up in the gazebo, and then they could do it in
No,
there.
I don't
Do they,
So they do set up tents and tarps and stuff like that. I believe it was last Sunday or the Sunday before. They had some tents, some like easy ups set up.
And the other thing that I wanted to point out to the group is that, I'm tracking what wards these are from. So this is the second ward to out of the three that we've received. I don't want to discourage anybody, but that was one of the things that was mentioned in a city council meeting when they were talking about setting up parameters, was that needed to be, to spread it out to different wards and be judicious with the words. All right, so the ayes have it, and we are,
So I would email Chief and I, and then I'll meet Chief. Just like Nicholas did it, so Chief. and I will do it.
got it. All right, so
Just,
has been, sorry,
just out of curiosity, since I'm new to the committee here, how much money do we have to be giving out these micro grants? We're up to $750 now? I'm just curious.
I don't know, Michael, could you answer that question? How much was set aside? I want
I
to say it's
believe
like,
it was 2,500.
oh, okay, so.
Thank you.
Could be more. I think it was like 10. I think the original estimate was we wanted an estimate of like 10 $250 grants.
Thank you.
You bet.
Let me just make a note and motion. Second. Right. Motion carried. Moving on to the Heritage Festival outcome. I included in the email the thank you letters to two local guys, to Simply Homemade and to Chris Watkins, our MC, who did an awesome job, I thought. So I'm hoping that he will return and be part of future Barre City recreation or
He was become a
committee.
stand-up comedian, so
Yeah,
it was a good start.
he was great. Based on the count for the prizes that we handed out, I counted 74, 75 kids. Maybe my math is wrong. But and I know we handed out more prizes, especially to the little ones that didn't win, and they kind of had the sad face. But I thought it was a great time. I had a great time during the event. It was pretty hot. So ideas that came out of our kind of debrief afterwards is that folks wanted to have one set of games. So rather than changing out the games for each age group, we would have just one. And I think, that even the kids were, even though some of them kind of had a hard time, I mean, we helped them out, got them to, get their ball in, or we'll just say, go for it, just go.
Chris was great about that.
Yes, he was awesome.
Okay, close enough. Go to the next one. Okay, good.
Yeah, so, we did weighted cups for stacking, better signage for the event, either, more, and I have the area more coned off and having a sign on each end, or maybe flags to kind of let people know who we are and what we're doing. And, being part of the area where the kids games were, on the other end of Main Street. They had the bouncy house and like axe throwing and all these other games for kids. So I made that suggestion to Tracy when I ran into her. that, you know, we would hope next year we could be part of that group. So that we're not competing for.
They did their debrief today too.
Oh, they did, okay.
The fire department stuff, I didn't get a chance to go.
Okay, I mentioned today's meeting to Tracy, so I'll just follow up with her if anything comes more from this meeting. Michelle, you had suggested more of a kind of a Barre Heritage Granite theme. Since it's, you know, the Heritage Festival, so I actually looked up some of the games that they had played back in those days, and you know, jump rope, hula hoop, the wheels with a stick, you know, sack races, you know, something themed around Barre and Granite and Heritage Festival.
Capture the flag.
Oh my God.
I know.
No, that's all I've lived for the last 2 weeks. The kids, that's all they wanted to play.
Oh, hey, sounds like
Capture the flag, capture the flag, capture the flag, capture the flag. Cheryl, can we play capture the flag? Yes, we can play capture the flag.
okay.
It was great. It's a hot item right now.
All right.
Kids love it.
Kids love it, good. For volunteer comfort, canopy to protect us from the sun. It was really hot that day. And I only brought a gallon of water, which didn't taste very good. I'm sorry.
No, it was nothing wrong. You did. I mean, it hadn't even been open.
It hadn't been open and
It had like a
perfume
taste
taste.
to it.
Was it like
Yeah.
bottled water? It's a bottle.
It was
Or a gallon or something.
one of those something spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
individual bottles or a gallon?
No,
It was a
gallon.
Oh, the thing
Yeah.
you supposed to get out of? Or-
No, like literally a gallon of water you get off the shelf. Gallon jug.
And you could pour it in cups and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, I think we could have, so, you know, like, we have a lot of beverages up at the BOR concession that are left over, that's from the BOR, but I mean, we could get beverages, we could get water or something like that, but if we have that, we'd have to probably have our own.
Cooler.
Obviously a cooler, but a trash bag, like just a barrel.
Yeah.
Because there'd be people, you know, empty bottles and cans, they want to recycle and stuff, but that would be. Do we have a 10 by 10 canopy tent that we can,
I have two.
you have two?
We could use.
It seems like I buy one every other year. I don't know where they go. I thought I had one.
Well, and I have one too, but I would think too, that would be nice if we had, if Parks and Rec Department had a booth that could be left off to the side, because they won't be able to move it because the parade has to go through, so we'd have to be off to the side anyways, but if we were already set up and advertising for the event later that day at the
Yeah.
booth, you know, with sandwich boards and various things, getting
Yeah.
people psyched for the event later on, maybe that would help too,
Okay.
you know what I mean, like a
I like it.
info booth, what this is what's coming up, or whatever might be going on.
Yeah, we could even give like free snacks or something.
So it would remain on the street or do,
Like,
where,
you know,
what were you talking about? The
Like
little
the
bit-
parking spots, like, you know, how
Yeah.
the rest of the
Yeah, like
vendors
we
have
were,
their
like
spot.
we were, yeah.
Yeah, it'd just be off to the side so that the parade could go through with no, we wouldn't have to take it down or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. And
I put it on the side, on the north side, because that's where the sun was beating the most.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the rest of it was sitting in the shade. Just fine too.
And so there's a lot of those that were set up at the beach that I was just at last week, and so they come with these. Of course, at the beach, you have access to sand, you know, they put the sand to prevent it from blowing around, so these things, it was like it was windy that day, so those. You can't nail the post into the
Right.
ground, so.
We could probably get our hands on some sandbags
Yeah.
here.
That's
We
what I'm
have.
thinking.
So let's see here, so Barre Town, when I met with them last week, they had mentioned that in 3 years, it will be Barre City's 250th anniversary. So, you know, they were wondering if, or they suggested to maybe start planning ahead to, you know, really make it pretty big and for the parks, and rec community to be really involved in making it, pretty exciting. You know, they had suggested maybe train rides to, you know, like, either kind of in Barre City or to like a tour to the Granite Shed. So, that was one of the things, and we'll put that out in Tracy's radar, but if you guys have any ideas.
2027 or 28? 2027 or 28?
So, 26,
29.
29.
29?
If I do 3 to 6, that's what I thought was 20. I don't know if that's it. Didn't happen on an even year, huh?
I-
Wasn't 20, wasn't 30, it was 29.
Yeah. So I didn't do the math. What's that, 1859 or no, 18 something? 20. Yeah, that's a good idea. Plan for that. Rotary just had their 100th anniversary this year. We're in our 100th anniversary. We're going to do some
Nice.
stuff in Barre. Rotary's been around.
So yeah, it sounds exciting to start planning for events that far out, and get things in motion.
Yep.
That's sure.
So, the other thing that I thought of, and I mentioned to Bernadette before the meeting started, is that I forgot to do a letter for Asian Gourmet for their donation, so I will put that together, and we'll mail those out. Any other thoughts or anything that I didn't bring up about the meeting?
We should do something that maybe took the very town grant for helping us and collaborating with us. Just because they don't have to work with us to want to, so. I think it's-
Yeah, I know. They were great.
I mean, we're
They-
well represented.
Yeah, they had 3 volunteers. Yeah, they had actually 4. There was Laura, Ireland, there was Annette, Nato, there was Larry, Rodaki, and Jill Wilkins. Yeah, so I will,
And I thanked your daughter too.
what's that?
I thanked your daughter. It was so nice meeting her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they,
great.
they had fun.
Yeah.
Anytime we can collaborate with Barry, it's good.
Yes.
It's together.
I think we've been, our events for this committee has been, more robust than before because we have been collaborating, at least in my opinion, with Barry Town and, they're open to our suggestions and, I enjoy kind of watching them coordinate things and how, they plan out the events. So I like working with them and I'd like to continue to work with
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
So, yeah.
That's with all due respect, they don't have a Barry Heritage. It's another connotation that it's the greater Barry area. We're all in this together. It's not a division. It's not Barry City, Barry Town. So maybe the rec committees respectively will be the rubber band glue that brings us all together in the long run. That's good that we keep good contact with them. They're very helpful. They're under the same reason we would help them for anything they got going on in Barry Town too. I would like to think we would. Or could.
No,
Or can.
yes. I have volunteered for their fall festival that they're having.
Yeah.
In October. So, and it seems like it's gonna be a pretty robust, a big event, so. But
Are you familiar with their budgetary things? Like, do they have a U up there? Do they have?
They do, that's Guy.
That is Guy, okay.
Guy is there.
Yeah.
My counterpart. up there.
Yes. Good.
But I don't know about funding or what they have.
yeah, he has his own budget, and it's pretty big, but not 100% confident. The number, I have a number in my head, but, because we did ask him at one point, and I was like, wow. So,
Have you seen all the work that they've done up there?
yes.
All the resurfacing of the courts and all that stuff that they've.
I
they've
would
done.
love,
Some intense repairs, which is amazing, which is great.
I would love to have our basketball court serviced, because that used to be a hopping place.
Yes, it's in supposedly the plan to have it.
The pool? Up the pool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, behind the tennis court.
Yes, that was always a spot. We got the tennis courts resurfaced years ago as part of that. But I didn't realize, are they bad? Is it bad?
Oh, I think it's pretty bad. You'll break your ankle if you.
The basketball
Because of the
courts
cracks.
needs to be done. It's time, it's in the rotation, I think, in the next 2 years to be done. Supposedly, at least when I asked.
So hopefully. All right. So any other thoughts? Oh, I did not get a response for the feedback form. I know Chris did, bring it up. Yeah, he was definitely pushing it during the event. We had 2 QR codes, even pushed, doing the QR code for your after school programs. And we didn't get anything. But I do remember Tracy mentioning that she does do a festival survey for the Barre Partnership. So hopefully, we can get some feedback from that. And I did mention it to Tracy to please share it with us if there's any feedback about those particular.
Yeah.
So she said she would.
Good. Well, they had about 50 kids over at the Matheson Playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were having a ball.
Yeah.
So it's good too. So it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I base our numbers off of the prizes that were handed out. So I know it's not an accurate math. But it was a pretty good guesstimate. So I would say, 75 kids. It's groups of 3s, and we did have some kids go through more than a few times. And that's one of the feedback too, is to have a more defined guidelines, what we do with those kids that just keep rotating.
Did they get multiple prizes?
They did. Yeah.
That's a good thing. So Cornerstone gave $10 gift certificates. There's a lot of those to give out, and I wasn't involved.
And then we had 5 left after the event. All of the 5 simply $10 gift cards were used. And then we had about 8 full passes were handed out, or
I think you had about 5 blue passes.
oh, okay.
Because you gave me, I gave you 15, I think you gave me back, well, maybe you only gave me back, so I don't remember, but I've already collected a couple of them. Some people are using them.
Nice. Yeah, I wrote down 8 full passes, so but maybe that was that accurate.
Probably, no, it's probably accurate.
But yeah, so I thought it was a success for first year.
Absolutely.
So we'll just kind of expand on that, as we get going with this. I'm assuming that you guys want to continue to do this for the Barre Heritage Festival.
Maybe it's worthwhile to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's one of the things that Tracy was concerned about, that she got feedback in the past about, that there wasn't enough stuff for the little kids to do, or, the teenage, actually it was the teenagers, not the little kids, the teenagers. So we didn't get a lot of teenagers though, I feel. A couple of them, but not.
I think there were 8th graders, 7th graders,
7th and 8th, but not definitely high school.
the brothers.
Oh, yeah,
They were very competitive.
they were.
Yeah,
That wasn't a state, we're going up against the wrestling thing.
Mhm.
yeah.
I think they were,
I'm thinking, as long as we reached out.
That's true.
they were pretty interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, I did snag a couple of kids walking by.
Yes.
I was like, hey, you wanna play? And, we grabbed 2.
So I'm sorry, so just the discussion earlier, when you talked about doing it someplace else with the fire department, did I miss that, or it's gonna be the same spot? That's where we want it to be. What did I miss on?
So
Location,
there were some kids, bouncy houses and
Bouncy
axe
houses, yeah.
throwing over by Paramount Theater
Oh.
and like tallies.
yeah.
So I was hoping to try to be,
More toward that,
rather
which is a
than
little further down.
on the other end,
Yeah.
which,
So-
we'll have shade and
Right.
we'll
They were expecting the car show to be down there too. That's why we got pushed back up towards the boxing ring, so.
Well, it is a jockeying for position type of thing. Cause there's not much, I didn't go beyond the depot, but just beyond the depot is where that was going on. And then we were just this side, you know, the car show was going out around that.
Nelson's, they were in front of Nelson's,
They were in front of Nelson's.
because that's where we had originally talked about.
Yeah.
Going, and then, because it was more closer to A&R Market.
Right.
And easier for us to get the tables and chairs there, but, she was like, no, because of the cars, we really didn't want to go on near the cars. In case some car got hit, that would be awful.
How far down did it go? Anything beyond, like I said, I never got beyond the
It
depot.
went down to this, it went down to the sign,
Savings bank,
the sign that goes up seminary. I think it went down to seminary.
all the way down to seminary.
I'm pretty sure that's as far as.
There was things going on,
Or
okay.
was it before that?
So
Oh, no. Yes, Northfield Savings Bank, that's where it was. Cause that was the workaround out back, the parking lot.
where was the bouncy house? Was it in the parking lot at Northfield Savings Bank?
Oh, no, it was right in the street.
Right in the street.
And so
front
how
of
they managed that with
The
the
courthouse
parade?
and
Cause
I
they
just-
came down.
I didn't go down that far.
Yeah, they had dancers and people on silk and hanging and twirling. One of my campers was there.
I did see that.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah.
think it was a
Oh, so they
success.
come down Seminary Street.
And as long as, Tracy thinks it was a success.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot more than previous years, and that was nice to see. You know, you didn't feel like you had to stay in one spot, and you know, you can kind of go around Main Street and find something to do. So it was great.
I think so. I think she did a wonderful job, and I think it's some great collaboration with Benjamin. So.
Yeah, for sure. She was, she felt good afterwards. I connected with her after. So, yeah. Okay, so moving on to item C, the Recreation Department update of events. Michelle,
So we have a drive-in movie this coming Saturday, August 15th. It's at 8:30, doors open at 8, so we'll close up at 5, give people a chance to go home, get dinner and all that stuff. Then they can come back and swim and watch The Little Mermaid.
want me to do, we talked about doing some burgers, hot dogs. And stuff.
And we're not gonna do anything with that.
Okay.
Because it's not gonna open until 8:30, I mean 8, so we're not gonna do any. We aren't gonna do popcorn or do any of that, because we really don't want the food in the pool either. People wanna bring their own food and snacks, which they did last time. People brought their own popcorn, their bags. It just came like an outdoor, movie, and they brought their stuff and sat on the deck and watched the movie, so.
Nice. Do you need more volunteers for that?
That's a really good question. It might not hurt to have some other bodies. We're gonna be short lifeguards. That's why we're closing. 15th is our last day, because we have several staff members who are gone. They're gone back to college, so we don't have the bodies that we normally do.
Yeah.
So if anybody wanted to show up and help and just kind of be a warm body and have your eyes there, I mean, obviously the lifeguards are gonna be watching the kids in the pool, that's their job. But if, a lot of times it's the preventative stuff. You see something that looks like, well, that looks a little dangerous. Maybe we need to put a light in. Or, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff, because we put out solar lights leading out to the parking lot, and we have solar lights in the pool, or charged lights in the pool, and then I purchased some balls that float that light up in the pool
Those are
too.
so cool.
So we have a bunch of stuff to light the pool area up, but we don't wanna light up too much, because then you won't be able to see the movie.
Right.
And I've gotta play with that a little bit, move it closer to the water without hopefully getting any of it wet that shouldn't get wet.
So it's the theaters or the screens gonna be set up in the pool area?
Yeah, so it sits between, so the pool is shaped like an L. And the screen is here, and we allow them to be in the shallow end, the middle and the deepest close. So they get to come, play in the water, watch the movie
That's this Saturday?
this Saturday. Starts at 8:30.
If you do volunteer, if people do volunteer, what time should they arrive? And
If they wanna volunteer, they should let me know, but probably be there if people wanna come to help set up the inflatable, the screen or any of that stuff. If they wanna come like at 7:30. It doesn't take very long to set up. It's gonna be the technical stuff. I gotta refresh my memory on about how to set up all the stuff that Chris did for me.
Do you need help with directing traffic?
Might be helpful, maybe. Or even greeting people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get
We have a cashier that's in there is gonna be taking, and we're not charging for the movie itself, we're just doing like a regular pool entry, because they get to come in and swim if they want to. So we're just charging pool entry and they get to watch the movie for free. And then if they have a pool pass, the family pool pass, we're accepting it for that event. It's not considered outside that realm for this event. And there was some confusion the last time, because I was like, oh, this is beyond normal pool festivities. And so I was like, no, they need to pay because it's a, so this time I was like, okay, let's make it very clear. And they started putting on the posters and everything that in the Facebook thing that, nope, it's free event. If you've got your pool pass, it's included in that as your season's
how many
pass.
school passes are left over at the library?
Seven, I have seven over there.
7 passes, so we
Yep.
can encourage people to take those out
Mhm,
and use it for this event.
mhm.
Absolutely.
What is, what's it cost to go, like, if I want to go swimming?
$6 for an adult, $4 for a child, for just a day entry. And then if you have masses, if you bring large numbers of people, if it's between 20 and 29, you have to have 2 chaperones and it's $50. If you bring 30 to 39 plus, it is $75 and you have to have at least 3 chaperones plus. To bring large groups, which is what we've got a lot of large groups that came in this summer.
That's,
Large groups. We had part 2 from Williston and Richmond that comes over. They bring about 60 to 70 kids. And then we had Green Mountain camp that used to come too as well. And they brought about 50 kids. So it just depends. Yep.
how do they even know about it? They come from Wilson, Richmond.
They've been doing it for a little while. So this year I made them let me know in advance so I knew what I had for staffing on those days. Because sometimes we had to close the deep end in order to accommodate and make sure we have staff on. To cover the other stuff. And that will be our last day of the season. And so Sunday we'll be packing up, the staff and I will be packing up the pool house and having a cookout and then closing it down. So that's that. Camps are all done, complete, finished CSI camp, which was my last camp on Friday. So that's all done. We're in the process and in the works with working with Barre City on after school program, bringing that back. It died during COVID. So we're kind of looking to see about bringing that back in collaboration with Barre City. We've had meetings with Barre City. We have another one that's coming Friday. Kind of working on that and early release and summer programs and sort of tying that all in together. So that's what we're working on.
Did you get any feedback with the survey?
I don't know from that particular event or not, but she has collected data. She shared with us at our meetings. Yeah. I just don't know if it came from that because she had it all over the place. I even had it at the pool stuff.
Yeah.
Elections are tomorrow, if people aren't aware, downstairs on the second floor, Washington Room. And then on Wednesday is a blood drive and they're in critical need right now for blood. So if you're willing and able, definitely come up. It's 11:30 to 4:30 on Wednesday in the Washington Room downstairs. And then, yeah, 11:30 to 4:30 on Wednesday. And then the next one is September 16th, a month out. We usually do like every other month, but we went back into a rotation of every month with them. So we usually do a blood drive every month. This year we just did do July because I had camps downstairs. So that's where we're at with that. And then Sunday, September 27th is the first paint and mocktail series for the fall season into the winter. That's scheduled.
What is that?
It's basically like a paint sip, except we call it paint mocktails and little kids and like they come with their parents and I do mocktails and they paint artistry work. I have a local artist who works and does it with them. So we've had several.
Saturday.
Just Sunday. We should do it on Sunday. It's a quieter day. It's quieter up here usually. And it's just nice. So they come for the afternoons like 2 to 4 and they just hang out and paint. Which is great. They all walk away with a piece of work on canvas, which is awesome.
Nice.
I saw the photos of the.
Oh, the past ones.
Past ones.
Yeah, there were some really good ones. So I think this next one coming up is a dog. Somebody sitting on a dog or something. I think that's the next.
And how much is that?
$20, which is very affordable to, if you look at any of the others in the local area. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah,
They're,
Yeah.
you know, talking 50 or
wow.
more, yeah, or more.
Yeah.
So
The rec
we do it,
Wow.
because that means that's $40 for two, you know what I mean? So that's fairly reasonable. We provide drinks, I provide snacks. And all that's included, their art and their supplies, and they walk away with the campus.
And this is downstairs.
Downstairs in the Washington room, yeah. And I usually do about 15 or 14, I think it's 14. Whatever her cutoff is before the amount, you know.
Yeah.
I go as far as I can go and still have it set up in the
So that includes all the supplies,
brushes,
the
everything.
paintbrushes, the stacks, the
Yep.
drinks.
Yep. All of it, I don't pay anything
Fine.
additional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And that's really all that I have, but if anybody would like and has a place or location that they would be willing. And would want to, I have blood drive posters that need to go up. If anybody has a location that they would like to share. That would be
Going in
lovely,
this tomorrow.
marvelous, and the other thing is the Little Mermaid poster. You want to put one of those up? That would be awesome.
That's the Saturday.
That's this Saturday, yeah. We finally voted and I finally got, well, I hope they paid the license.
This
I need the requested.
when I saw.
Did you
it,
put that at,
It's not at school. I went up today during my day off. I was supposed to not be working today. And so I just went up and gave them,
what I'm
I
saying
gave
is,
them,
okay, again, because it's like, no, not high, Green Acres, because that way they walk. Well, I don't know if they walk that way.
walk down to there.
Yeah.
It's like
Michael,
Michael.
here you
Yeah.
go.
They have a pavilion and like a rec room. Could probably go into.
Mhm.
We could put it on the mailboxes at Green Acres.
Okay, you have a committee meeting tomorrow?
What's that?
You have council meeting tomorrow?
No,
It's next week, right? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, we just had two back to back,
Okay,
so I get a little break this week.
okay.
So
All
we
right.
could get you one of these, yeah, that would be great, to move there. Right, one of the kids would.
The dive in, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was fun. They had a good time. The first one, they really, we had about 30 people there, which was pretty cool. So
What age are seniors? I know,
I think 65 and
I
older.
feel like I'm almost as.
Supposed to be 55? I understand when I say senior, I say 65. What do you interpret? It varies.
They say that, yeah, and then they say 62, it depends.
Yeah.
You can't go by ARP because
Eh.
they want you at like 50.
55, 50, oh, good.
But
That's the case that I'm a senior.
most of the time it's 65. You get a special rate if you're 65.
That's the way I interpreted that, yes, yeah.
So I now bump it.
Congratulations.
And so question for you, Michelle, about your mocktail, paid mocktails.
Yeah.
Will you need volunteers for that?
Nope. Nope, it's pretty easy. Anna and I go in, set up, and then I just make mocktails while she's doing the class and host. But it's something fun if somebody wanted to come and kind of see the process and help, that's fine too.
I would like to join.
Oh, you should. It's a lot of fun because we get to make all kinds of things. Sometimes I do it very simple and other times, you know, a little more elaborate, just depends on whatever we decide for
And
mocktails.
that's here?
Yep.
What was the date on that?
The 27th of September. The first one, because I do one every other month during the winter and fall
Okay,
season,
yeah,
so that people. And then what it does is it skips like Christmas time, you know what I mean? So it goes every other month. So I do one in September, one in October, September, one in November, and then one in January, and then one in March. So I do 4 of them during the winter months.
And you call them,
And I what?
they're called
Paint and mocktails.
paint and mocktails.
Mhm.
I can promote that.
and there's 4 young children, there, it sounds like that's. what
Family,
you-
it's usually
oh,
families, yep.
Yeah,
So I had moms and dads come with their child, I had moms and daughters come, but yeah, they all bring, usually a
Right.
child along with them. Yeah. And because it was also in the passport, the very last one wasn't the passport, so
Oh.
they could get it, like I just built back the grant for the child's entry, so they really only have to pay the $20 for the adult to come to bring them, that was it.
And what's your sweet spot on the beaches for the kids?
She usually goes for 8 and above.
8 o'clock.
Yeah. 8 and above.
Speaking of passports, Michelle, at the very town meeting
Mhm.
last week, they had mentioned, that Sam from
I'm alive, live. Mhm.
Yep, will be joining their September 7th meeting.
Ah.
With the possibility of doing a scavenger hunt and award prizes on September 26th. Barre Town, so I don't know if, Guy or Larry had reached out to you, but, they wondered if you had some return to you.
Nope.
Okay.
There wasn't very much in there for Berry City, so I didn't have a lot of anything really that I.
Okay.
But-
So they had a meeting today, or a phone meeting today, this morning. And, Guy said that they'll discuss more about the planning at their September meeting.
Mhm.
So, I'll send that to anybody who wants to participate.
So they're gonna meet during Labor Day, must be, so.
So, yeah, and so, on the same topic, for, Michelle's updates, the reason I asked about volunteers is because, I had spoken to someone else who, had a, experience working in a, parks and rec department in another municipality, and the feedback was that, there really is very little engagement or support, it feels like, and I kind of wanted to see what this group felt about refocusing our efforts to work with Michelle and promote Michelle's events, rather than trying to come up with something else. Not to say we can't, but really supporting Michelle in the recreation. But
We've talked about that and I agree with that too. So, yeah.
so like I said, we've had, we haven't had the amount of volunteers that we had hoped. And so, rather than coming up with our own, making ourselves available and promoting what you have going on, so that you are not feeling like, where am I gonna find these people?
Well, that's true, like, I mean, even when I do like theme skates, I have my cashier who's in the box. And she's already programmed the music, at least this past year, she goes back. So she took care of that, and then I had the skate guard on the ice, but that meant that I needed to be with all the other activities going on, and then sometimes you're dealing with stuff, and if I didn't have a skate guard, because it didn't line up with her schedule or their schedule, then I was having to do double duty, monitoring the inside as well as monitoring the ice, and I don't go out on the ice, I'm not an avid skater, so I would have to, blow the whistle and do all that stuff, which is what I did to switch them to make them go the other direction. But if there was even one more body in that case, then they could be in the inside, milling around, oh, we're running out of hot chocolate or something, or whatever might be the case, or do we have any more of this that they're looking for? Because a lot of times it does sometimes run out, which is okay, because I give them hot water, so all I have to do is get more hot water, and then they have the packets versus making it and then some of it getting wasted. I have them drink packets. So just having an extra body, like in a situation like that, if I have to watch the ice, and that's helpful too. But we'll see. We'll see what the season looks like, because I had to let the black bears down gently, because I told them I was taking back the Tuesday night 6 to 7 slot. I don't think they were very happy with me, but we'd received so much pressure from the community wanting that Tuesday slot back to do public skating. So we've taken it back. And they've done a lot of counseling last season, but now they have more teams this year, so they need the time. So there's we're trying to work it all out, so we'll see what happens, and then I've also targeted a Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 to be our block of time, so I just have 2 times. That's it, everything else is full with
Wow.
Spalding High School, men's leagues, Black Bears, Barre figure skating, like, it's all like packed right in there, it's really hard, there's not a lot of wiggle room in some spaces. And then some of it we're waiting to hear back, like Spalding from the Vermont Professional Association, for their games, like what days are actually gonna be their games, and then once we know that, that can open up some more times, for example, for the Black Bears or whatever, it just depends, so. So yeah, a lot of juggling going on, but we'll see. But that's what I'm looking to cover, obviously, is those 2 times, and then we throw in some one-offs, the theme skates, which are additional to those 2 times. When we know we have an opening, like there's not a Spalding game or something going on a particular Saturday, then we might throw our event, an event in, something like that. But we will not do 2 events in December. That was crazy last year. It was too much, the holidays, too many things going on, so I know not to do one. In like December, too much.
Just got through your camps.
Huh?
You just got through your camps.
I'm already thinking about ice season.
I know, listen to you, crying out loud, I miss it. No, but I think, again, I'm new to this, so I have to sort of get my arms around the fact that we're an advisory committee to you and to the city, which is you, because that's your department. What your suggestion is on the agenda is to do a push for more of us, more members on the advisory committee, right? Because I want to, yeah. So,
In addition to
Or having a volunteer
Pivoting.
base,
Well,
right?
well,
Yeah.
we should
with our.
be the volunteer
Efforts.
base for her if we had enough people. So I think what would be helpful, not to put anything more on your plate. Because I'm just learning the scope of all the stuff that you do. I mean, we've worked together in the arts, just like that, but like this, that's, you do all this stuff. It's not even like, and I don't think people realize that. Like I go, yeah, I'm on the Parks and Recreation Advisory. Geez, man, what do you do? I don't know. I just, Rodaline asked me to do it. I said I would.
He said, yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot going on, and I think I found this with Rotaries, that people want to volunteer. They just don't really sometimes know the avenues upon which they can do that. So, Rotary, we can do that. Parents and Advisory Committee can do that to support you. So maybe if you just could scratch out a brief, rough outline of what your 12 months consists of. I know. And so that we can recruit in that manner, because everyone's going to, everyone has, what's the word I'm trying to say? They have their likes and dislikes. They do what they want to do. We call it a single subject expert. In other words, if somebody was part of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee and didn't give 2 hoots about the Barre Heritage Festival, but really loved whenever the BOR is open and stuff like that, that's fine.
So take them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or vice versa, there's just different things that people would have interest in. And that, what I found, like in Rotary, so Rotary is like, people have no idea. I mean, it's an international organization. You can get as deep or involved as you want to be, or you can say, I'm just working the breakfast, or I'm just volunteering at the concession stand, or I'm just doing the
Wrapping up the presents.
the wrapping
Corn
of the
drums,
presents. I go to the wrapping of the presents.
Or
That's fine.
mocktails or.
That's fine. They can do that. But I mean,
Yeah.
I would envision, having a smidgen of that list and, and somebody would see the mocktails thing or the paint and mocktails thing and say, wow, I want to be a part of that. I know, I live in a neighborhood where I could have 5 families be right here or whatever.
Yep.
But I think that would be a good thing for us to do, like honor your goal to have a push for membership. Is what you're trying to do, have more people on the committee, right?
Have more people on the committee, but also,
Good volunteer base as
yeah,
well.
but
I
kind of
hope-
shifting our roles to, support Michelle. Even if the coming up with a list that you have done within the last, 12 months.
Mhm.
You definitely want to do that. We can have that list, we can solicit, volunteers that will pique somebody's interest.
Yes.
To be like, oh, yeah, I would love to do that.
Well, because I mean, I have tons of ideas all the time, but I just don't have the manpower myself to do it. Like, for example, we had this wonderful water play thing happen at the Matheson Playground during the Heritage Festival, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I bring the little pool up and the little water things and have them at the pool house one week, during the summer or whatever, like just focusing on giving the littles a little bit more to do. Because a lot of times people come with little babies and then they're in the water for a little bit and then they're out, whereas they could easily, have a little play fun area, like there's just little things like that. Like I would have loved to have done more themes up there. Because they did a red, white, blue, the 4th of July weekend, and that's where they did the hot dogs and everything, and they had balloons and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we did the drive-in movies, but it would be great, like if every other week there was some kind of, like I had a junior, I would call him junior lifeguard, but he's not really junior lifeguard because he couldn't do the lifeguarding piece of it because he's not eligible to be a rescuer, basically. So he helped us with programming in the aspect that he rotated like horseshoes through and volleyball through and the ladder toss game. So he brought those out. And so each week we'd have something new out there for people to play, give them interest and stuff. And I brought up tennis rackets and tennis balls so people could sign those out and go over play tennis if they wanted to. So there was a lot of things going on. And we even brought the foosball table up to the pool. But I just felt like it would have been great if there was some more themes swims. Like, I don't know, it could have been like a luau day and the staff wore leis, and we had a grass skirt around the counter when you checked in and, pineapples sitting, like not real ones, but party pineapple. And just make it
I love that.
a little more fun and exciting to go to the pool. Do you know what I mean? And not that it's not fun and exciting to go to the pool, obviously, but just it's just something like, hey, we should go to the pool today. They're doing this, and it doesn't have to be something elaborate either. It could be
We
something
want
very
the
simple.
community to come out, but we also,
Yeah.
want to be able to like staff it safely and,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that,
Yeah,
people have somebody to go to. if they
exactly,
have
exactly. We even brought up games and a few things, and they had those out on the table for people to go ahead and play. if They wanted to. We had 2 additional tables added, old cafeteria tables that could be left outside. So, yeah, there's lots that could be happening.
Yeah, so great idea.
We're lucky to have
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
you and your enthusiasm.
Thanks.
Sorry.
It's a-
I don't have very much right now, though, today. I'm exhausted.
It's an important part of the community.
Definitely. So,
And you don't have an assistant,
I do not have an assistant.
because I know in Montclair, I was the assistant to Don years ago, so it was a lot easier. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the
So-
role that we're trying to look at with the after-school program is the person that I'm working with, who's working with a school. Like, that's where she would like to see her role eventually is
Mhm.
helping with that as well as,
Yeah.
helping with stuff when it's not season, time as well. So we'll see. There's potential for
There's
stuff.
always an opportunity, Bernadette.
and nothing, I have an aging mom, I'm like, all this other personal stuff, so I'm sorry. No,
But your knowledge and wisdom will be.
right, that's why I'm on the advisory right now,
Right.
but I'd love to see a list of. It's, cause I have the imagination too, but like what you,
Yeah, the
the
opportunities.
other opportunities, and then, cause like you mentioned. Wrapping presents, I know somebody that would just do
Rotary does.
just that.
Oh, Rotary does
But
that.
you have that, okay, and then fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
That's a great idea,
Yeah.
There's just a lot of them.
yeah, because there's
Yeah,
so
that
much.
kind of collaboration helps. It doesn't matter
Right.
whether it's a Rotaries or
Yeah.
back for.
And sometimes I have a lot of
The senior
collaboration with
center or
the fire
whatever.
department.
Yeah,
I do events with them as
I
well.
don't think they
and
heard me, the
offers.
senior center.
the senior center is another great one.
Because, yeah, a lot of those
We're always
people,
looking for stuff to do.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot, and I'm not just for kids. I'm supposed to be all of our,
Right.
Yep,
all of all of our.
And maybe down the road, that would be neat to just branch out, say, then you have a rep here and rep here, whatever, but yeah.
As part of our
It's-
mission
that's-
vision statement is that, you know, we're inclusive,
Yeah.
all age group and abilities.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, and I've been trying to work with the senior center, because I was trying to do Tai Chi in the park this summer. It just didn't pan out. And then we talked about doing water aerobics and having them lead water aerobics, and maybe offering that at the pool in the early mornings as well. So there's stuff that's been discussed, just hasn't meshed up. They're really working on Tai Chi. They have people who will do it for free. And I just was gonna provide the park, and we were gonna do, it just didn't work out though, but then they had somebody who was willing to do it if they got paid, but I just didn't get to that. At that point,
Yeah.
camp swung in, just forget it.
Right,
I knew as soon as I get into camps, like, forget it, my day is like, I come in at 7 and I get the AC on and I get the room ready and stuff, and I might go down, check a few emails or do whatever, and then after that, then I'm with the kids from 9 o'clock until 4:30. And then I'm at the pool, and then I might deal with any issues there, and then I come
Right,
back,
right.
so it's, my days are.
that's why
vacant.
you need to find like those retirees or the teachers that have the summer off or different people
Yeah.
that help out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's where
There
we're,
are people out there that.
Yeah.
Put it out somehow.
and I've had a few people, friends of mine that are teachers that would be willing to do,
Yeah, yeah,
help out with stuff, but now that we're kind of leaning towards the school and doing a combination, which would be good. I mean, and I'll be very perfectly honest with you, I was a little sad by thinking, oh, I will lose all my connections with my hoodlums that I have from the summer, that I've absolutely fallen in love with all of them, and they see me and they run up to me like at the Heritage Festival, and I had great relations with all of them because I spend quite a bit of time with them, and it's all about fun. We're all having fun, we're playing games, and we're doing all kinds of great stuff. I was kind of saddened to think that, oh, if it transitions to the school, I won't have that connections, and it probably won't be small groups like I have with that impact, which was a little sad to me. But at the same time, I'm like, but it's to benefit the kids, more opportunities for more
You had an
people,
impact
more
on them,
outreach.
and they'll take it forward.
I hope so.
You opened up their
I hope so.
horizons.
I hope so. Well, and I can always still do like maybe some one-offs. Do you know what I mean? Like we would definitely not do,
Well,
we're gonna do Splash into Art again next summer. We've
Oh,
already agreed to
you're-
do it.
know your strengths and who you're, you've heard of the term, the right person in the right seat on the bus. So just know who you're, like whether Bernadette could do one smidgen of something because that's her strength, or could always bounce stuff off me. You got two things that are gonna happen. One will say yes, one will say no.
Yeah.
But I'm usually pretty, she's got connections and knows what she can do. And everyone's connected, so just try and don't hesitate to reach out. Needless to say, I have my hands full with sessions in this winter as well,
Mhm.
knowing what the schedule's gonna be, would you help out with that for anything, but
Yeah.
The whole big challenge is having the session, so BOR, the Rotary runs the BOR session.
Yeah. yeah.
Because it wasn't run.
Yeah.
It wasn't open.
Yeah.
So we see it as more of a community service, just because you can't have the BOR without having the concession. I mean, good, but it's a
Yeah.
bad, it's a bad. And,
Yeah,
and it's a, minor fundraiser, but we fundraise and give the money to who volunteers. Which is.
Yeah, I did. And he gave me money. that went to the rec
Did you
department.
get your check?
I did, I
left it
did,
off. I
I
left it
did.
off.
I did deposit it right into the rec program.
Yeah, well, there you go.
so we touched on item D, which is the new member push. So
Yeah.
I think we, we'll be able to, move forward with that once we get
Yeah.
kind of
I worry about your meeting times, like if you do push to the first Monday, I don't know. Well, that's good, because Chandra was looking at possibly joining, and then so wasn't Sarah, but I don't know what that does to their schedules. Do you know what I mean? Like,
So I know, just conversation with Chandra said Mondays are challenging for her. And I know that we had switched this meeting from Wednesdays to Mondays because what folks had available. We all decided Mondays, so our Mondays
I like
still
to
the
keep-
better for you, or
I just like consistency. but. I know.
It helps. Consistency does help, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
switch,
I guess-
switch,
I guess
every
I just-
time somebody else comes in.
Yeah, I just don't know what because they both were interested, but they
Sorry.
haven't done the next step, so I'm
Right.
concerned about, are they not doing the
That's
next
just-
step because the
yeah.
day doesn't work for them, or what? Because then you could have a full forum, I mean, a full forum,
Right, right.
you know, if you had 2 more members, then you'd have your full 5.
so,
And then that way, if somebody's away, it's not the worry of, oh, can we have a meeting,
Right.
can we not have a meeting, are we gonna have 3 people there at least? There's more of a chance,
I
yes,
I see Sarah once in a while, and I'm friends with Chandra, so I can. Chat
I
with
guess,
her
I would reach out to them.
to find out what. Yeah, the
Would the
reason-
first Monday be better for both of them? No, you know?
or another day, I mean, do you guys have days where you definitely
Definitely no.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
What's that?
It's either Monday and Tuesday for me.
Monday or Tuesday.
Are good or not?
Are good.
Are good. Gotcha. Okay, so
Yeah.
Okay, so Tuesdays out because of city council,
All right.
um,
In case you guys have to attend for that.
um,
Well, and because we have their account,
yes,
so they have to use this on Tuesday nights.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
so,
But he can always switch us back over to committees too.
yeah,
if
To the
need be.
what? To the-
There's 2 accounts that the city has
Okay,
for
to the
Zoom.
mid- something.
And one
Mini
is
Zoom.
conference
You said, yeah.
Zoom and one's
Yeah.
committee Zoom. And normally most of the committees are all underneath the committee one. And the conference one is saved and reserved for council for emergency meetings or anything like that that they need. They can just use it. But because ours fell what it did, there was another committee being used. I think it was public safety, that committee.
Right, right.
So then he pushed us over into the conference so that both meetings could still happen and still have a Zoom meeting. But now that we've moved to Mondays, we could easily go back to committee or to maybe Tuesdays, I don't
I
know.
think there is another committee,
On Tuesdays?
no, not Tuesdays, on Mondays. Because when I was trying to troubleshoot what was going on,
Yeah,
I was looking at the links to the other committee,
yeah,
and there was.
on Mondays.
There's.
So then we'd have to stay with this one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, hopefully, no one else is using this, link on Monday.
Yeah.
So, just, quickly before we adjourn, Matthewson, Playground did send us a thank you, card for, our support for their micro grants, so, just thought I'd share that with you.
And
And,
their sandwich board,
oh,
Yes, he got lemon bread. Mhm.
thanks for making this happen. I can see that. Okay.
well, I got a
Let you
second.
guys-
But yeah,
you
they
did.
gave us ours.
Oh,
This
you
is for
did get
guys.
it, okay,
This is for you guys.
got it.
For the committee.
So, if there are no other, things to discuss, oh, missed it, sorry, there is something for me to mention. Our next meeting is Monday, September 14th. Same location, Alumni Hall, 3rd floor, Roosevelt Conference Room, 303. Can I get a motion to adjourn at 6:15 PM?
So move.
I'll second that.
And any discussion?
They did make him a note here. The sandwich board, thanks, Ed, somebody wrote.
Oh, let's see.
You didn't see that?
I don't have my reading glasses for one. I swished
Did she
together.
want to see it? I don't know if she.
Oh, and are we gonna
Alright.
be able to talk through to try to figure out to change that October 1 to the 1st? We don't have to put that on the agenda, do we?
She can put it on for the agenda for next.
Okay,
If you guys
Yeah,
want that
yeah.
to be discussed further, maybe after.
because otherwise I won't be around for the 2nd of October. That Monday.
So as
I
of right
just
now,
won't-
we have a regular meeting system for September 14th.
That, I'll be there, yeah, that.
Okay, and so, all in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none, okay, we are adjourned, that's 6:15. Thank you, guys.